Has Zoe Saldana accidentally leaked the title for the upcoming Avengers sequel? I'm Joe Starr. This is Screen Junkies News. While talking with Cinema Blend, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige stirred up speculation when he suggested that the title of Avengers 4 would be a spoiler for Avengers Infinity War. As we all know, loose lips sink ships. Word is that Zoe Saldana may have accidentally sunk that ship. While talking to the BBC, Saldana said, "We all have to go back for Gauntlet later this year." Here to help me break down this Da Vinci Code of possible spoilers is our own Victor Torres. Hey, buddy.
What's up, man?
Hey, so we've got a Freudian slip, if you will.
Yes,
slips the tongue. We've all got to go back to Gauntlet. Now, you know, it's worth saying, you know, at the top, maybe she's just referring to, oh, these movies are such a gauntlet. We all go back into the gauntlet that we call working for Kevin Feige. Or it means that the movie's called Infinity Gauntlet. So why would this movie be called Infinity Gauntlet? I'm assuming...
So just a point of reference, there's a 6-issue storyline from 1991 by Jim Starlin, which features Thanos coming into possession to the Infinity Gauntlet. It's essentially what the Nintendo Power Glove should have been.
Sure.
And what it happens
but that's a different video. That's fair.
That's your opinion.
It's so bad.
Basically, he plugs in 6 of the different Infinity Gems, as they're called, into the gauntlets and is trying to impress Death. And by doing so, he snaps his fingers and makes half of the universe just disappear and die.
Right.
Kind of immediately. So much of the Marvel's heroes have to come together to fight him. There's a lot of back and forth, and I won't give anything away, but he becomes a farmer in the end.
Sure. Yeah, he becomes a farm. No, he goes, or does he go full Dexter and just becomes like a... yeah. So, I mean, what we've sort of just described is what I'm assuming is going to be the plot of Infinity War. So that's sort of the interesting thing here is you have what we're assuming is going to be the next Avengers movie.
Which is interesting because even though originally Avengers 3 and 4 were supposed to be Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, and they were supposed to originally be filmed together, we know now that that's not the case. Not only is it not Part 1, Part 2, they're being filmed completely separately because they're 2 different movies. Though, if it was called Gauntlet, that seems to suggest that they would be kind of a Part 1 and Part 2. It's hard to imagine there being a separate movie featuring the Infinity Gauntlet that would have nothing to do with Infinity War.
Sure.
So, to me, if that was the case, I mean, they would seem very much connected.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe connected narratively. Maybe you know what they were meaning by they're not Part 1 and Part 2 is that like Infinity War doesn't end with Thor going ha, and then the next one doesn't start with him going ah. So you know, maybe it is a continuation, and there's more story to tell with the Gauntlet. So you know, if this is about the Infinity Gauntlet, does that mean Thanos returns for Avengers 4 to sit in different thrones?
Yeah, maybe he's like he gets the Gauntlet back and he's like farming or something. I don't know, because right now he's not signed on for Avengers 4, and he just signed a 4-picture deal with 20th Century Fox to play Cable.
Wow. Okay.
So if they move forward with it being Gauntlet, does that mean that someone else gets the Gauntlet? That we have like a new villain? I know, and I think it's at the end of Infinity Gauntlet, like Nebula comes into possession at it for a brief period of time. So is it just switching hands? Would he come back for it?
I'd be super interested if the MCU was like, guess who your new big bad is?
Yeah.
Nebula. Like,
and she's a badass, yeah.
Yeah, be super into that. So, you know, these movies, they get sort of put on the schedule so far ahead of time. Is it possible this is just a working title? This is the Blue Harvest of Avengers 4?
I personally think it is, and I could be totally wrong, but I think it would be maybe a working title, or maybe just what they're working with now, because if it's really a spoiler for Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet isn't really a spoiler. We've already seen 2 gauntlets. So I think we saw the right one in Odin's trophy room in Thor, and then at the end of Age of Ultron, the post-credit scene was Thanos grabbing the left one.
So we know that his backhoe and
and we know that the gauntlets are in the universe, and they're post-credit sequences. So like people are dissecting the hell out of them. So to me, it's not really that much of a spoiler, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to revolve around the gauntlet somehow. And it could even be the Marvel Illuminati, which was originally formed to deal with the Infinity Gems.
That would be cool.
Maybe we're going to have even more of a schism than we had in Civil War.
Which would be awesome.
Which would be awesome, and hopefully it doesn't immediately end with a sweet boyfriend note written by Steve Rogers. Any sort of final thoughts on this?
Oh man, I'm just excited for more. Honestly, they could literally call it Avengers 4, a stinking pile of crap, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance.
That's a brave choice.
Yeah.
That's a real brave choice. I'm super into that. Thanks for hanging out, Victor. Internet, we want to know, what do you guys think Avengers 4 should be called? What should it be about? And should they do a tie-in with Farmville to celebrate the possible end of Thanos, according to the comics? Let us know in the comments. Click around here for some videos that may or may not be popping up to my right. Like and subscribe, and make sure you're nice to each other. It's Dalton's #1 rule. See you guys later. Bye.